After our state's 141st birthday, today we have one of the state's top columnists slash political writers in the state. My compadre, Paul Enos, has the rundown.
Jane Ann Morrison, columnist for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, will be here to talk about everything from the governor's race to the Clark County School District. Ray?
And on today's pundit panel, we have Chris Wicker, Barbara Vucanovich, and Paul Lamboley. That's all coming up next. So let's roll on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Corporations moving to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center require reliable power, fiber optic communication, and clean water sources. And yet, there's another amenity we're very proud of here at TRI, rail service. So far, we've built over 2 miles of railroad track, and another 3.6 is under construction. When companies need to transport freight, we're going to help them move it quickly and efficiently. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The Resort at Red Hawk offers you 2 great dining choices. Experience David's Grill and Sports Bar or the Steakhouse at Red Hawk. The Steakhouse has received the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence based on a diverse selection of fine wines. To accompany the wines, the Steakhouse serves certified Angus beef steaks in a variety of cuts, fresh fish, chicken, and pasta dishes. For fun and casual dining, come to David's Grill and Sports Bar. David's is open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Resort at Red Hawk. Always the right choice.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
You are watching Nevada Newsmakers.
Hi, I'm Ray Hager with the Reno Gazette-Journal. Paul Enos is with me, and on the phone we have Jane Ann Morrison, political columnist with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Good morning to you, Jane.
Well, good morning.
Jane, yesterday Jim Rogers suggested that Kenny Gwynn take the helm of the Clark County School District. Do you think this is a good idea or an example of Jim Rogers going off the deep end?
Well, I don't think he's going off the deep end, but I think he's looking at for alternatives out there. I think the governor has already sort of squelched the idea, but because it's so far away. But I don't, certainly the governor would be capable of doing that job. Whether he would want it is something else. Let me correct you on one thing. I'm a general interest columnist.
Okay.
Our political reporter is Aaron Neff.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the gubernatorial race, Jane Ann. Recently at the Jefferson-Jackson dinner in Las Vegas this last weekend, Senator Dina Titus, a gubernatorial candidate, was introduced to rousing applause. It almost brought the house down from people there telling me. But then when Jim Gibson, the other gubernatorial candidate, the mayor of Henderson, was introduced, the applause was a little bit tacit with a kind of a yawn here. Saying that, it seems like Dina Titus is setting up as the popular candidate, whereas Mayor Gibson may be the candidate for the political poobahs such as Harry Reid and former Governor Miller. Do you see it that way, or do you have another take on it?
Well, I think one of the reasons that the applause was fairly tepid was that that was the Democratic base that was there, and they were not happy the mayor of Henderson had recently said in an interview with John Ralston that if Roe versus Wade was ever overturned, and the way things are going with the Supreme Court, it looks like that's more likely. If Roe versus Wade was ever overturned, he would work as governor to overturn it, the state law, which is identical to Roe versus Wade. So that group there of the Democratic base, including a lot of people who feel very strongly about abortion, we're not happy with him, and that is hurting him with the base. It's probably not hurting him with the more business-oriented Democrats, but it is hurting him with the activist base, labor, women, that sort of thing.
Is that going to... go ahead.
I'm sorry, Jane Ann, do you think the open letter that Joe Dini, Harry Reid, Richard Bryant, Frankie Sudell-Papa, and Governor Miller wrote, do you think that sends a message to the people other than the base that Dina Titus might not be able to win in a general election?
Well, I think that letter was a slap in the face to Dina Titus, and it was early, and I was really surprised at that letter. And it was a unity letter, so Dina has never been really on the inside. She has always been sort of independent, but she's been fairly loyal. She stepped aside when Harry Reid's son wanted to run for the county commissioner. When Rory Reid wanted to run, she stepped aside because she didn't want to make an enemy out of Harry Reid. So I think it was a slap in the face to her, and I think it sent a pretty strong message. But on the other hand, people don't necessarily abide by all those, what all those leaders say and do. So.
Jane Ann, getting back to Mr. Gibson's comments about abortion, do you think, in a primary, do you think that's really going to hurt him drastically, or maybe be the reason why he does not win the primary?
I think it is going to hurt him drastically. People have to realize that in 1990, the question 7, which was the abortion question, passed overwhelmingly by 67% of the vote, and that was in a general. So among Democrats, the polls showed that the abortion question was even stronger. So I actually think that is a hard obstacle for him to overcome, and I think it's going to be a killer for him.
Okay.
Jane Ann, the abortion question that you just spoke of, that was passed by referendum. This year we're seeing a lot of governing by initiative. We have Pistol, which is supposed to protect your property. We have Task, which is supposed to put tax and spending controls in the state of Nevada. How do you think these initiatives are going to have an impact on the 2006 election?
Well, I think they're going to, in the general, I think they're going to help turn out the conservative base for the Republicans. These are initiatives that sound very good. I know the Review-Journal did some polling on it, and people are supporting it. There's been no opposition to it. There's been no organized opposition to that kind of a thing that might hurt the local governments and even the state governments in terms of the money that they would have to spend. So I think it'll be a pretty strong motivator for the Republicans and for the conservatives.
Jane Ann, tomorrow we're going to have Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman on here, the happiest mayor in the world. Do you think he's going to jump into this gubernatorial race real quickly?
Oscar Goodman is such a wild card. I don't think he is, because I don't think he wants to move to northern Nevada, and B, I don't think it's the job he would like. And I'm not sure that his wife really supports the idea. So those are 3 reasons not to. The reasons to do it would be ego-driven, which would be fun. It would be fun to campaign statewide, and it would be fun to win, But then it's kind of like the Robert Redford movie, The Candidate. Once you win, the question is, well, what do we do now?
Well, Jane Ann, we're going to take a break right here. We'll be right back. I have a question about your history with Oscar Goodman to ask you coming up next.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
Since its creation more than a decade ago, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has focused on 3 goals: preserving water quality, improving water conservation in Southern Nevada, and meeting the community's current and future water needs. Through thoughtful planning, responsible management, and collaboration, it's succeeding. As we move into the 21st century, the authority continues to embrace sustainable water development and efficient water use. That's our promise to Nevada.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seemed to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
The materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers.
Hi, welcome back to Nevada Newsmakers. We're speaking with Jane Ann Morrison, columnist with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Jane Ann, I wanted to ask you your opinion on New York Times reporter Judith Miller getting caught up in this Scooter Libby scandal and her subsequent 85 days she spent in jail. Now, you were also a victim of the subpoena in 1981, pushed by then defense attorney Oscar Goodman in his defense of Anthony Spilatro, the reputed mobster. Now, you didn't go to jail, but you must have an interesting perspective on the Judith Miller issue.
Well, when Judith Miller was here to receive an award from SPJ, I went and listened to her because I am very interested in that. One of the biggest problems I have as a reporter is her saying that she wrote down Valerie Wilson's name and didn't write down who told her that. That just doesn't make sense.
I agree with you.
And that's one of the real problems I have with what she has said. And I thought when I saw her that I would feel one way or another, and that maybe she would convince me that more of what she did was right. I have some doubts about about her behavior, and I was in the audience when she received her award. About half the people stood up and applauded, and about half the people did not.
What did you do?
I sat.
Jane Ann, can you tell us the difference between covering Democrats and Republicans in the media? I know that you just wrote a column a little while ago about the Republican convention, and maybe you can contrast that with the media coverage of the Jefferson-Jackson Day dinner.
Well, one was closed and one was open. The Democrats tend to open everything, and if you want to listen to them fight about the platform for 4 hours, you can do that. The Republicans, and I do think this was sort of a one-shot deal. The former Republican state chairman, Erlene Forsyth of Reno, decided to close it, and it was an election, so they sort of surprised. She said she closed it because it was an internal meeting.
Well, it's actually against the wish of the candidates, correct?
Yeah, yes. They all said that they wished it had been open. I think it was a mistake on her part, but I do think it was her decision. She felt that they needed to be able to talk in private about things. Well, you know, they blew a perfectly wonderful opportunity to showcase 6 of their Republican candidates, and it would have been a very good opportunity. The press goes to these things because they want to see not how the press responds, but how do Republicans respond. So it was a lost opportunity and a wasted opportunity.
Jane Ann, in another recent column you had on Assembly Speaker Richard Perkins. You referred to him as an indecisive man. He's running for governor. He's not running for governor. He's going to stay on his job as deputy police chief in Henderson. He's not. And then you bring up the issue, will he run again for the Assembly? And if he does, wouldn't that just blow the mind of Barbara Buckley, who is trying to become the first woman Speaker of the House?
I think that there's no doubt that he will not. He has made his intentions very clear that he will not run for Assembly. When I suggested he might run again, and maybe I wasn't clear on that, it was whether he might run again for higher office. Not for the job that he now holds.
What do you think what would he run for? Senate?
He could run for Senate. He could run for Congress. He could run for governor. He's younger than we realize.
43.
Yeah, and so he's got quite a few years left in him.
Okay. Paul?
Jane Ann, do you think there's any possibility that Barbara Buckley won't be the Speaker this next time around?
I think there is no possibility that she won't be the Speaker. I think she has really served as the Speaker for the last 2 sessions in some respects, because Speaker Perkins put a lot of things on her shoulders, and she did a lot of the Speaker's job. She was right in the middle of almost every issue, every major issue, and she was out front. So I don't think I think the Democrats are quite happy with her as Speaker.
Well, you know, Jane Ann, in covering the legislature, many people feel that Barbara Buckley is the smartest person in the entire gang of 63. Do you see her ever running for governor?
Yes, I did a piece, last year, predicting
I remember
she
that.
could be the first woman governor, and I did that piece even though Dina was already a declared candidate. I just said that I thought in some respects Barbara could build her base over the years, and a lot of people say she's too liberal, but I think that she's reaching out, and I think she's getting a better reputation. But I think what happened with Richard Perkins shows that sometimes the Speaker is not as high profile. Ray, you and I covered the legislature, so for us, the Speaker is, is what he does or what he or she does is a big deal. But apparently, in the voters' minds, they barely knew who Richard Perkins was. I think more people might be familiar with Barbara Buckley.
Well, you're right. I always thought the Speaker was a big cheese, but it doesn't seem like he is. We'll be right back with our pundit panel right after this. We're going to gang up on Republican Barbara Vucanovich.
Not me, Ray.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. Just 10 minutes east of Sparks. We're proud that Walmart and other Fortune 500 companies have chosen Tahoe Reno Industrial Center to relocate their businesses. We have sites from under 5 acres to well over 500 acres, and with all of the amenities that every successful corporation requires. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, and we're building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The Nevada Beer Wholesalers encourages the responsible consumption of beer. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association are sponsors and participants in many community-based efforts such as school education programs, safe ride home, recycling programs, alcohol-free after-prom and graduation parties, safe voting campaigns, and designated driver programs. They are family-owned businesses employing 2,000 Nevadans. They also collect and pay the state excise tax. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association, delivering more than just beer.
Northern Nevada is on a roll, attaining top national rankings as a great place to live and do business. How does the region stay on top? The 21st Annual Governor's Industry Appreciation Awards will feature Joel Kotkin, the internationally recognized author who wrote Inc. magazine's story named Reno the best place to do business in America in 2005. Join us November 8th at the Reno Hilton. For tickets, visit www.edon.org or call 829-3700.
The Resort at Red Hawk offers you 2 great dining choices. Experience David's Grill and Sports Bar or the Steakhouse at Red Hawk. The Steakhouse has received the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence based on a diverse selection of fine wines. To accompany the wines, the Steakhouse serves certified Angus beef steaks in a variety of cuts, fresh fish, chicken, and pasta dishes. For fun and casual dining, come to David's Grill and Sports Bar. David's is open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Resort at Red Hawk. Always the right choice.
You are watching Nevada Newsmakers.
Hi, I'm Ray Hager again. Welcome back to Nevada Newsmakers. On our pundit panel today, we have an A-list team. First, Chris Wicker, the chair of the Washoe County Democratic Party, Paul Lamboley, Reno attorney and former chair of the State Democrat Party, and Barbara Vucanovich, Republican and former District 2 Congresswoman for 14 years. Welcome to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yesterday, Jim Rogers, the university chancellor, said that we should appoint that the Clark County School District should appoint Kenny Gwynn as the head of the school district after the departure of Carlos Garcia. I'll ask the same question I asked Jane Ann. Do you think this is a good idea, or is this an example of Jim Rogers going off the deep end? Chris?
Well, I don't think it's Jim Rogers going off the deep end, but I think he's perhaps overstepping what his scope of responsibility is. I think that it's up to the school board to decide that without pressure from, say, as it were, up above on the regions.
Okay.
The governor's reaction might be, been there, done that.
Right.
I feel the same way. I would think he would say that. Been there, done that.
Well, Barbara, it'd kind of be like asking you to come back and,
I
run for school board.
a couple of times. Not for school board, believe me.
You know, with Kenny Gwynn, he's almost 70 years old, and when he was the superintendent in Clark County, it was a much smaller district. Right now, I don't think that is that job is so difficult to be a success in.
Forget one other thing. He and Dina are building a house here in Montreux, and I don't think that he particularly wants to go back down there and do that. Well, and I think that school district is one of the 10 largest, if 6 largest districts. Number 5 in the whole country.
Chris, do you think it'd be better if we split the school district up like Sandra Tiffany and Bob Beers have suggested?
Well, you know, I hardly ever want to agree with those two, but you know, in that respect, that might not be a bad idea, because you reach a certain point where management becomes very difficult, and you have a whole lot of different interests, and it might be a good idea, although don't ever say I agreed with them.
Chris, let me ask you a question about Jim Gibson. He got a kind of a, you know, not a very rousing reception at the fundraising dinner for Democrats last week. When he's on this show, he seems to me maybe just a little bit boring. And I was wondering, as a Democrat, and Paul, if you, and everybody, if you could, do you think he needs to smile a little bit more? He's kind of like the John Kerry of Nevada, where he's
well, here's the disadvantage that Jim Gibson has, is that when the Washoe County Democratic Party has a number of functions, our Jefferson Jackson brunch, our honor roll dinner, for many years Dina Titus has been there and met everybody, and so if we had the two of them come to a function in northern Nevada, Senator Titus is much more well known than Jim Gibson, and you know, he just needs to come up and get to be more well known, because I think the same thing might come close to happening in northern Nevada.
I think you have to measure that against all the candidates' experience. When they start out, they're always reticent, they're always holding back, a little bit reserved, and as they hit the campaign trail, they relax, they become more familiar with people, with crowds, and they get better at it, and they really do. Their body language changes, their personality kind of morphs into something that they're easier with a smile and quicker with a laugh.
So
sometimes.
He needs to get better.
And I think it'll come with time. It does with everybody.
Okay.
Well, look, in a country like this, a very boring person can become president of the United States, so don't sell it short. Be careful, Chris.
At least Mr. Bush smiles once in a while. Barbara, don't let these Democrats pick
They don't
on you.
intimidate me, believe me. You know, I made one terrible crack when somebody asked me how I got along with the 3 Democrats when we were in Congress, and I said, hey, listen, I've raised 3 boys. I can handle them. But, I happen to like Jim Gibson. I think he's a very, very nice guy. He is kind of a solemn guy, but he's not a slap him on the back and that kind of guy, but he's very respected in southern Nevada, and I just happen to think he's a very nice guy.
Well, apparently he's very respected by the Democratic establishment, because they did put out an open letter that was kind of a slap in the face to Dina Titus. How do you think that goes over with kind of not necessarily the hardcore Ds, but just kind of the rank and file Democrats?
Well, personally, I think it really kind of insulting. I mean, who are they to decide who's going to be their spirit carrier? But I'm surprised they did that. But I think that
Dina has a voice maybe that's a little bit shrill and is a little bit grating, and I think that's hard for her, and I don't know what, maybe she ought to take some speech lessons, who knows?
Speech lessons and smiling lessons.
Chris will attest, it's very difficult for a Democratic leadership to control anything in the Democratic Party.
Exactly.
And certainly not the agenda nor the candidates' performance behavior or otherwise. And I think it does have a potential for a bit of a backlash. It's certainly not particularly helpful, but it may be largely ignored by people, and frankly, it's early.
Yeah, Paul's right. I think there's a lot of independence there, and if leadership tries to tell people to do something that is within their own prerogative, I think the real tendency is to, well, I'm not going to do it just because you told me to. And so I think you can't govern Democrats that way.
Is Dina Titus the front runner in the race, or is that now gone to Jim Gibson real quick?
Front runner.
Paul?
I think it's close.
I think it's close.
Okay. Well, it's close. You got it right there. We'll be right back.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. For a quick bite and the best sandwiches in town, it's the Whistle Stop Deli. And for the best appetizers and menu selections and a large variety of cocktails, beers, and martinis, it's Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
Ah, I've heard some good things about them.
Oh, you bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they've saved others 50%.
Works for me. Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
Happy Hour at the Peppermill.
Thanks to an ongoing commitment by America's mining companies, more than 2 million acres already have been reclaimed. To learn more about reclamation or other aspects of mining, visit nma.org. The National Mining Association.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't want to miss tomorrow's show. If you love to drink gin, who do we got, Paul?
We have Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman. Ray, you stole my line.
We'll see you tomorrow.